Okay, hi friends. Welcome to our new webinar. Today in this webinar, with us, Ambu Saxena bro is there. He is from BITS Pilani campus. He studied a triple E student and he is also maintaining a YouTube channel called Success Infinity, which is the most popular channel for BITSAT preparation. Okay, let me invite him. Hi bro, how are you doing there?
I'm doing very well, and thanks for the lovely introduction. It's great to be here.
Uh,
Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you. Thank you, bro. Okay, let's start our webinar.
Sure.
Okay, bro. Okay, bro. Can I know what is your rank in JEE and score in BITSAT?
Yeah. So I gave my JEE exam as well as BITSAT in the year 2018, and I got somewhere around 3000 All India rank in JEE Advanced and 357 in my BITSAT.
Okay, super. Bro, means 350 means it has a good score in BITSAT, so you may get definitely get CSE in BITS Pilani. Then why
Right.
you had taken triple E instead of CSC?
Yeah, so actually there were many reasons. Actually, it was a very big question for me as well when I was back then in 2018, because almost everyone who scored almost similar marks around 350 to 360 were most of them were going for computer science only, either at Goa campus or at Hyderabad campus. But to everyone's shock, I was not choosing computer science and I was instead going for triple E at Pilani campus. So there are basically three reasons for it. I have also made a video regarding the same on my channel. Number one reason is that in computer science, we will notice uh, there are a lot of limitations. So let me explain this to you. If you have taken computer science and later in the college you realize that you are not meant for it or you're not enjoying the process of programming, then you are left with no other option. You have to pursue it, you have to do programming even if you don't like it. But as a triple E student, you have got a wide variety of options. Either if you want, you can go to electrical side, you can go to electronic side as well, and if you want, you can go to computer science side as well. So this was one of the major reasons, because by then I hadn't had any experience of coding prior to that. So I was skeptic that if I would like coding or programming or not. So that was one of the biggest reason of me taking triple E instead of computer science. Moreover, one of my uncles told me that there are very less or almost negligible government jobs in the computer science sector, but there are a lot in triple E sector. So if in future I decide to go for exams like IES, engineering services, or I decided to appear in GATE or ISRO or various different examinations, so with computer science I would be at a backlog, right? So in that case also triple E would help me. And anyways, if I got highly interested in computer science, then I always have the option of switching from triple E to computer science in my masters. So that option was always open. So hence I chose triple E over CSE.
Okay, good. Many of the students have some question in their mind is triple is really a tough or it is a gossip?
Right. So the thing is that it is actually tough, and it is basically worth it, because it's actually not a single branch. If you will see 20 years back, around 2000, there used to be two separate branches: electrical engineering and electronics. These two used to be two separate things. Even today in some colleges they are two different branches. But the thing with triple E is that you have to study for both electrical as well as electronics. You have to do both the courses which are there in both the branches. But the best thing which I like about triple E is that it has got a lot of scope in the future, right? So directly coming on to how you can manage the things, I would say just focus upon conceptual building, because whatever they are teaching in the colleges and other the professors are teaching, the assignments that we are getting, they all are outdated. The professors what studied in 1980s 1990s are just uh, you can say propagating that thing to us even today in 2021, but that is of no use in the practical world if you will go into the industry, right? So just focus upon building the concepts, and it is indeed really a tough
Yes.
thing, because you need to balance it with electrical and electronics, both the things, but that's the reality. It has also got a wide variety of options in the future, so I think that is worth it.
Okay, bro. Some of them have some doubt. It is actually I had taken triple E as a branch, but
Okay.
I want to do masters in coding. Is it is really possible to do masters in computer science?
Yeah, definitely it's possible, but there are a few things that you need to keep in mind. For instance, you need to have some courses in your graduation. So like you need to have I guess, minimum data structures and algorithms as one of your courses in your graduation. And 2, 3 more courses are there, like computer architecture is there, and object-oriented programming is there. So if you have these 3, 4 courses, I don't know the exact list which is there, but if you have these 3, 4 courses in your graduation, then definitely you can do masters in computer science field. I think there's some network issue. Your mic is muted, Anil. Please unmute.
Bro, is it audible to you?
Yeah, now it's perfect. Now it's perfect.
Hello? Okay, bro. Yeah. Some of my friends want to get CSE in my college, but because of not having sufficient rank, they are settled in. They had taken extra option as a triple E and want to learn coding. How to manage both learning coding and the triple E subjects?
Right. So that's a very genuine problem because the workload in Triple E itself is such huge that we barely get time to go for programming or coding or other things apart from our interests. So that's a genuine problem. But I would again repeat my point that rather than going to learn the things that are in Triple E, try to understand it from the basic level, from the conceptual level as much as you can. Okay, and just devote the rest of your time to programming and other things. Right. So just for example, there's a course named Power Systems. I think you would get it when you will be in your third year if you are a triple E student. So in power system, there is almost 90% mathematics only. If you don't know mathematics, then you can't score good in the course. But if you are just focusing on the mathematics and hence only upon scoring marks in the exam, then it might not help you in the future, even if you get an A grade or even if you get 10 CGPA in that course. But if you are building your concept out of that course of power systems, then it is surely going to help you. So just invest your time as much as it is required for conceptual building and devote the rest of your time to programming of whatever thing which you want to do along with that.
Actually, I had seen some of my friends just for the sake of CSE, they are not selected top NITs, and they had taken some small NITs like NIT Andhra Pradesh, such type of thing. Do you think it is really a good decision, or just we have to take what is our interest on?
Yeah, so I think we should take the branch of which is there of our interest. That should be the main priority. But after that, the branch should not matter because in today's world, even if you have production engineering or chemical engineering or civil engineering, you can still go for programming job. You can still apply to companies like Microsoft, Google, and various other big IT firms, right? So the branch should not be the main focus. If you are there in a good college where you are getting good peer group, where you are getting sufficient opportunities, then it's more than sufficient. Then branch won't matter because today even a student who is not pursuing computer science engineering can code and he can then become your competitor while you are applying for any job. Even the non-engineers, for example, if someone is doing BA for example, BA in English, BA in maths, etc., or if someone is doing BSc in maths, physics, etc., even they can learn coding and just compete with you while you are applying for the job. So branch should never be the concern. If you are there in a good community in a college, then that's the best thing, I believe.
Okay. As I had said to you before, some of my friends want to learn coding and just go for a software side. So, what would you suggest for them to take to go for a MTech or for the sake of MBA? Because many of the MBA has wide variety of choices
Right.
to go into software side. So, what would you suggest for them?
Yeah, so actually this is a very subjective thing and it depends upon what you as a person wants to do in your life in future. So for example, if someone is really interested towards the technical things, if he really enjoys the process of programming and he is capable enough or at least thinks that he will be capable enough after his masters to build some really cool softwares or maybe to be a very good part of an organization as a technical software engineer, then definitely he should go for masters. But if nothing if there is nothing like that, then I would say MBA is a much better option because in MBA, the best thing is that you get an exposure of students from various different fields. You would also be having a doctor in your batch. You would also be having someone who pursued commerce, who might be CA in your batch. You might also be having someone who did history in his 11th and 12th, and he might be from some university in your batch, right? So that exposure really means a lot, and that helps a lot in your future, if you are building a startup or if you are even running a company, then management side, that thing will help you a lot. But if you have if you are very much decided that I want to pursue technical field only, you have no interest in the management side, then at any time masters would be a better option.
Okay, bro. Actually, some of them say to me that doing masters in India, doing masters in the abroad is better than doing masters in our country. Is it really it is really a truth or just a gossip?
So if we see from the learning point of view, then definitely if you will go abroad, the learning thing would be much better than India, because in India, what is the system? The thing is that the system is very obsolete, you can say. The system is not updated as per the things that we are seeing today. So for example, we are confronting the age where IoT and AI are going to become very much relatable in our and usable in our day-to-day lives. But if you will go and see to the courses that are there in masters, even at IITs, the top IITs, in computer science masters, you won't see courses like artificial intelligence. It was introduced last year only in IIT Hyderabad, only one campus. So from learning point of view, I believe masters from outside is a better option. But having said that, at the same time, it's not that if you are doing masters or even MBA for that matter from India, then you would be at a great loss. It doesn't matter in the long run, right? Because even if you are doing masters from a top Indian college, ultimately you will land up in a great company where you will be getting exposure of people from various different international universities. So ultimately, in the long run, it is not going to matter much. But in the short term, to get an advantage over others, if you can go for an masters abroad, then it would be a better option.
Okay. Can you tell some of the what is the scope of Triple E in the future?
Yeah, so Triple E, as I mentioned, has got a huge scope, and as we're seeing that electrical vehicles are gradually dominating the market. So in the field of electrical vehicles, electrical engineers would be needed. No other person. The best thing about Triple E or any core branch is that no other person of any other engineering or of any other degree can do our work. So unlike in computer science, where even a chemical engineer or even someone pursuing BSc or MSc or even someone pursuing medical can just learn the programming, can just learn the process and do it for some company. This is not the case with our branch or any core branch. So it has got a very good future, not only in electrical vehicles, as we have got a kind of monopoly that only we can do our work. We are also moving towards you might have heard of Starlink. It's another startup that comes under SpaceX by Elon Musk. So through Starlink, what we're trying to achieve is that they are putting a lot of satellites in the space, and they are trying to make a satellite constellation in the space to provide internet, and they are aiming for speeds like 1 Gbps, and they are even promising that after 10 years we might get 1 terabyte per second as well. So that's again a field of electronics and communication. So the future is, you can say, 75% electrical and electronics fields. If you can become a master in either of them, then you would be like a linchpin to a company. Nobody can even think to replace you with anybody else, because there's no replacement for you. The rest 25 to 30% will belong to computer science, because as AI and ML and other things are progressing, the application part of whatever we people of Triple E have built, then the computer science guys will use them to build some upper layers to that. So speaking about Triple E, you can say 60-70% future is of Triple E only. Like if you're really good at it, then you would always be in demand.
Okay, bro. As artificial intelligence and cybersecurity are the best specializations in CSE, what are the best specializations for Triple E students?
Okay, so that's a great question actually. So actually, there is not such a thing in Triple E, because almost everything, if you will see, if you will go to the electronic side, then many of my seniors even at BITS Pilani are specializing in the field of analog electronics, and some of my friends are specializing in the field of communication. So actually all these things are somewhere interrelated, and there is nothing like this is going to be better in the future than the other things. So without analog electronics, you can't be good at the communication part. Someone need to do the part of analog as well in order to keep the communication part smoothly going. So that's not something like better than the other. So you can pursue masters if you are doing a Triple E in any branch.
Okay, bro. Okay, now I want to give a doubt section to the every student.
Sure.
If you have, okay, guys, if you have any doubts, you can ask. You just raise your hand. I will unmute you.
Feel free to ask anything. Like it's not a formal kind
Yeah.
of session. You can ask anything.
Uh,
It need
yes.
not be related to triple E only. You can ask anything related to
Uh,
college or programming or anything.
okay, okay. Can you tell some of your internship that you had done in Tripoli there
Sorry,
and
could you
your and
repeat?
college experiences?
Could you repeat? I wasn't able to hear
Can
you.
you
Yeah.
okay can you tell me some of your college experiences in BITS Pilani and college life and exposure? How is exposure is going to be in BITS Pilani? These things.
Yeah, sure. So the exposure is really phenomenal because BITS being one of the premier engineering institutes in India,
Mm,
you would see that even the level of the fest that we have is just
mm,
at another level. So the
mm,
basic,
mm,
there are actually two kinds of,
mm,
you can say, exposure. One that you get during the fest and the other that you get while you are in your peer group. So in the peer group, as you
mm,
know, the people who
mm,
are there, they are not some, you can say, they are not experts
mm,
of what they are doing. So you might be having someone in your college as well who might be
mm,
knowing AI or ML or maybe Java programming better than people who are
mm,
sitting in bits, or for that matter
mm,
even in IITs. But the main thing that
mm,
differentiates the top college
mm,
students from other colleges is that they have the mindset. They think that they are the
mm,
best, and that's what makes them best. They might not be the best
mm,
in their work, but their perception, they're thinking that they
mm,
are the best, or they know the thing better than others, or in
mm,
fact best than others, is what makes them really unique in their work.
mm,
So that kind of thing which I've noticed in peer group, so that is just
mm,
wonderful. And exposure from the peer group is
mm,
immense. Talking about the fest also, the all the fest, if you will see, Oasis, which is a cultural fest, is the second largest fest in the
mm,
whole of Asia after Mood Indigo of IIT
mm,
Bombay. So it being the second largest fest in Asia, it is still organized
mm,
only by the students. There's no support, no help uh, from the management side of BITS Pilani. Even the funds that we use are, you can say, bootstrapped from the previous year's fest profits only.
mm,
So we don't get even the funds from the BITS Pilani administration. So the exposure is really good, and we have a lot of people, a lot of CEOs of company coming to give talks, and a lot of entrepreneurs, and even an alumni base is very strong. So we have people coming there every week for some talk or for some event, and really it's really great interacting with them. So the exposure is really good. Anil, please unmute yourself.
network problem. Can you please differentiate between the Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 colleges?
Could you repeat?
What are the what are the facilities they have? Can you please differentiate what is the difference between the Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3 colleges, and what are the main difference between them? And
Sure,
what are the facilities they have? And
I got it. So basically, if you will see, there are not much differences between a tier 1, tier 2, or a tier 3 college. If we see of the facilities, there might be minute changes, there might be minute differences. For example, in a tier 1 college, as it's ranked tier 1 due to some historical reasons, due to some past results, it gets a little bit more funding from the government side. It has got a better
mm,
infrastructure, and these things are there. But if you will see, the primary and the most important thing that
mm,
differentiates between all these three
mm,
categories of colleges are the peer group. Like again, as I said, the peer group is very, very
mm,
important. Not your branch, not your
mm,
college. If you are in a tier 3 college, but the people which
mm,
are around you are doing phenomenal work, are doing some startup, or are doing
mm,
really good in whatever they are doing, whatever field they are aspiring for, then your
uh,
college or your branch or degree doesn't matter.
mm,
So the main difference is of peer group only. If you will see in any tier 1
mm,
college, you will see that most of the
mm,
people, or I can say almost all of the people who are
mm,
there, are doing something or the other. Even if they are not studying, they are not able to get a good CGPA, they are investing their time into something else, something productive. So this creates all the difference. And I think that is the only thing that differentiates between tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 colleges. Rest other things are very, very secondary. In today's world where we have social media, networking, and connecting between, if you want to talk to a company CEO, that's almost equal, because sitting in a tier 3 college, you can still leverage LinkedIn and try to and just try to interact with anyone in the world. So connecting, networking, these all are secondary
Yes,
things.
bro. Yes, bro. Mm. Yes, bro. Okay, bro. Thanks for coming and giving spending your valuable time with us. And you had given a great motivation for us. Some of my friends want to get CSE, but not because of not having sufficient time. They are in now. They are some. I think most of them get clarify about all these things, and some of them has one thing in my mind. Triple is the one of the toughest subject in the engineering branch among all the engineering branches. I think after your session, I think most of them had clarified their doubts. Okay, guys. If you have any doubts, you can ask now. You can ask now.
You can ask, or you can just put it in the chat if you are not willing to say it on mic. Does Triple students have internships like CSE? Yeah, definitely. So in internships, there is no such rule. Even if you are currently pursuing a graduation and you want to do an internship in marketing, you can go for marketing, provided you have the required skill set. So if you want to go for an IT internship, if you want to intern with Amazon, Microsoft, or any other IT firm, you just need to have a good command over programming, and preferably in C++ or Java. So if you are good at it, then no matter what your branch is, you can always intern at the big IT companies. Anyone else? What will be the job opportunities? Okay, so if we talk of the job opportunities, then through campus placement, you would observe that most of the companies that come, even to people of Triple E, ENI, and all the subsequent branches, are of IT only. So even if you will see the placement statistics of IITs or BITS or even NITs, then you will see that people of chemical or civil or production engineering, they are getting placed in the IT sector only. So being in Triple E, you are kind of only second to CSE. If you have electronics and communications, then you are just third to computer science, and you have almost 90% companies open to you in the placements as they are for computer science. Talking of the core sector, if you want to go in the field of Triple E only, then the companies that visit even the IITs or the BITS Pilani, the companies are relatively lesser, because even the students don't want to go to the core, because the offering, the package, the CTC, which we technically say, is a little bit lesser. But companies are there. For example, you can have L&T. L&T is a very big company that comes for recruiting both for civil as well as electrical engineering. So there are quite a lot of companies. Electronics has also got a lot of companies, like Qualcomm is there, and even D-Shaw comes sometime for recruiting in the electronic sector. So there are a lot of companies. Anything else?
Okay. Okay, bro. Okay, we can end the
Let's
session.
wind up.
Okay,
Yeah.
bro. Thanks for coming and have a
Yeah,
nice day.
my pleasure. It was
Thank you,
great
bro.
interacting with you, and even the questions that you put forward was quite fascinating. And I wish you all the best for all the upcoming sessions. You are doing really great. Okay.
Thank you, bro. Thank you so much.
Okay. So
Have a
good
great
night,
day, bro.
everybody. And if you have any doubts,
Uh,
then you can directly message me over LinkedIn. I reply to almost everyone. Or you can also message me upon Instagram. My Instagram ID is success_infinity. That's actually my YouTube channel's name. Okay. So just ping me over LinkedIn. I will reply to you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
So bye bye. Good night.